What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to Gem Talk, where we have conversations that inspire greatness. I go by the name, it's Marby Marv. We got Will Stam with me as my handsome co-host. And tonight, we got a special guest with us. Everybody put your hands together for the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only 360 Jeezy. What's up, Jeezy?
What's good?
360. What up, bro?
How do you do the intro, bro? Because I was gonna do the 360, but I'd be backing it up.
I was waiting on you to do it too.
How you do it,
360 Jeezy.
bro? You actually got, you know what I mean? You got a little voice, you know what I'm saying?
My brother put some little umph on it to make it sound a tad bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. That's the iconic intro from the videos, bro. It's how many times you've heard people say that to you? Is that like when they see you, they sing it to you?
Yes. When people see me and they know it's me, they instantly sing it. That's sometimes it'd be like,
Barbers.
Hey man, I never would have thought like this song that it was like a tune that just was in my head. I put the words to it, the 360 to it, and it just stuck because it stuck with me. I'm seeing how it's sticking with everybody else. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's cool, bro. And before we really get into it, man, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to make this happen. This was actually on short notice too. For those of you tuning in, yeah, we chopped it up for a quick minute yesterday, and I'm like, yo, Jeezy, when you hopping on a Gem Talk? He's like, I've been waiting on you. I'm like, I know that. What's up for tomorrow? He's like, I'm free tomorrow, and we here. So I appreciate you making time on short notice. And I just want to give you your flowers, man. You know, me and Will want to give you your flowers and the whole industry. Yo, matter of fact, chat, drop some flowers in the chat. Let's give Jeezy his flowers. Jeezy done help inspire so many people to, number one, start cutting their own hair, getting some waves, start cutting their own hair. And then they enjoyed cutting their own hair and making themselves look so good that they decided, you know what? I want to start actually cutting hair. And because of Jeezy's content on YouTube and all over social media, we got so many, barbers of all ages, especially a lot of young barbers entering the industry. And we just want to say we're grateful to you, Jeezy. We're grateful for all of the, the help that you've provided barbers over the years, man. You've been dedicated to creating just tons of content.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I appreciate it.
Jeezy, man, that's that I think that's so dope that like the way you've created content of just you cutting your own hair piqued so many young people's interest.
Yeah.
That they may not have known was there. And we all know some of the dopest barbers started cutting their own hair. Yeah. So I just think just you being able to relate that content of like sparking that interest and people grow a liking to it and all of a sudden make a career out of it. So the game, obviously, the way it's seen now by like so many people all over, and you kind of being at the forefront of that, especially through the YouTube and the social media aspect, has drawn a lot of attention to the value that barbers actually have, not only as a person in the community, but also as a career choice with artificial intelligence taking over. It seems like everything. So shout out to you, man.
Appreciate it. I got a lot of flack though for teaching people how to cut their own hair in the barber community though. But
because there's a part of it that's like taking away clients, bro. I had a few waivers. I don't cut them no more. They watch the Jeezy video. All my waivers left, bro.
Hey man, it's always gonna be something positive and something negative, no matter what we do. So we gotta. It's so funny, right?
Between you and the self-cut system, collabing with all of our clients.
It's so crazy because I was on the way home from the gym and I was listening to Fab and he said, you have to bring hope, but also be prepared to be the scapegoat. Like that's what the top dog is going to do. Like I think it was on Cold Summer he said that, where he was like, you're called to bring hope, but also be prepared to be the scapegoat. You can't really get one without the other. So it's part of it, baby.
Yo, bro, I'm scrolling down your YouTube and I seen 11 years ago. you had a little series when it was like how to get waves. Was that how you started with the YouTube content?
Oh yeah, yeah. You barbering. I wasn't even a barber at the time when I was making wave content. That's all I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Is teach people how to get waves. That's how I really got started, and just cut my own hair as well.
So where did that like come from? You didn't have a barber, or did you have a barber and you're just like, you know what, I really want to focus on my own?
I mean, as far as me cutting my own hair, that comes from my dad messing me up. Shout out to my dad though. Shout out to my dad, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have started cutting hair. But he messed me up in the 9th grade. Cut me a ball fade. I had waves all the way around and cut me a ball fade. I wasn't really tripping too hard at the time, you know, but I went to school, man. I was in PE playing basketball. As soon as we got in that circle, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to calm down and chill out, some dude was like, hey, man, I thought that was a taper. And when he said that, everybody started laughing. The whole class started laughing. I said, oh, what's up? Went and looked in the mirror, noticed that it wasn't even really that blended like that.
Yeah.
I went home immediately and cut my hair. I said, from then on, I was like, man, I can't really blame my dad. I got to cut my own hair, man. I got to take matters in my own hand. So since then, I just been messing myself up trying to learn.
So what made you want to start making the content? So you started cutting your own hair, and what got you into that?
All through high school, I was cutting my hair. My sister was basically the one that started, just had that idea that I should get on YouTube. She was like, man, if you get on YouTube, you'll blow up. So at the time I was watching Sir Cruz, he was always brushing his hair. I wanted my waves like his. I was like, man, this dude right here, he putting in that work. I gotta get my waves up like him. So I was watching him faithfully for about a whole year. So my sister was noticing that you watching this dude way too much. And so she was like, man, you should jump on there, man. You got the personality, you'll blow up. I procrastinated on it. She kept asking me, you jumped on YouTube yet? So she was like, all right, come on, I'm gonna make one for you, because she was heavily into YouTube at the time. I didn't really know nothing about it. So once she made it, I put my first video up. And as soon as my first video was me acting like Sir Cruz. Mm-hmm. So she was like, oh, if you're gonna act like this, I'm unsubscribing. Boom, she unsubscribed. I only had one subscriber. So I was like, oh, I gotta get her back. So my next video. Yeah.
Oh, she tried
video, I gotta come with something else. So she ended up following me back, man. But ever since then, it just started going up for me. So as soon as I started acting like being myself, pretty much. Yeah.
Yo, Will, you got to see Sir Cruz, bro. He on TikTok now.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
He crushing it now. He make videos and he'll be talking and then he'll be like, all right, give me 1 second. He'll line himself up real quick and then he'll get back to talking.
Really?
He's funny. I didn't know he was like the one that really inspired you to get started though. That's dope.
Nah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look him up
too. He was young. It's amazing to me that it's like, dang, I'm older than you. Shoot, I thought you was older than me when I was watching you. But he was real young when I was watching him. Now I have to. I'm 38 right now. He got to be like what? 32?
Hold up. We got the 38 specials in the building. Today's Will's birthday. Will's today's 38 today. I'm 38 too, Jeezy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. We're all 38. 38 special.
Happy birthday. Everybody drop the happy birthday in the chat for Will. He turned 38. He really 48, but we're going to say 38. We got 38 special. Get it.
38 special.
38. You're right, though. It is weird when like you meet people and you think you're like, damn, I'm older than you. I didn't know I was older than you.
Yeah.
Look at everybody there. Happy birthday. Let's go, Will. And shout outs to Will for jumping on the Gem Talk, because with it being his birthday, I was like, yo, Will, I know it's your birthday, but if you can make it happen, hop on. I think I enjoyed the conversation with Jeezy. So, Will, thank you for making time, bro.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm always gonna make time, man, for my man Marv. And then Jeezy, obviously we've never met in person. I've seen you online and stuff like that. So it was interesting to me to see all of the stuff you've been able to build and all the people you've been able to inspire. So to be able to get on and, kind of have some dialogue and an opportunity to learn, but also, kind of see how all of us can add value to the people watching, intrigued me enough to say, hey man, let's get on, let's do it. And I got some plans this weekend for my birthday. So today's Tuesday. We're gonna make it a great one.
Yo, Jeezy.
Uh-huh.
You got 3.5 million subscribers, bro.
Yeah,
that's insane, bro.
That's insane. Yeah.
You got over 700,000 on Instagram. You're building your TikTok too, bro.
Nah, wait a minute. I'm not. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. With TikTok, I'm not a TikToker. I don't really like. Listen, I'm pro for banning TikTok. To be honest with you, because it's cutting everybody's. Huh?
Why? Why the hell you want to ban TikTok?
Because it's cutting off everybody's attention span. Y'all can only watch videos for 10 seconds. Y'all not really watching the full, you know what I'm saying? And then they give you small little information. I'm supposed to gather all of that information in 10 seconds. It's just killing off people's attention.
So this is a battle of long form content creators versus short form content creators. Is that what you're saying?
I'm a short content creator too. It's just TikTok. I don't really mess with TikTok. It's a different world. It's just have you ever seen that movie? Have you ever seen Black Mirror? That series?
I've seen some of the episodes. You ever see that, Will? They're crazy.
Nah.
That's the vibe TikToks give me. When I go on TikTok, it's like, man, what are they battling? Like, what are they? Tap the screen.
Black Mirror.
We entered into a different world. What is this?
Yeah, Black Mirror is wild. Well, it's like it's a series where all the shows are different, so it's not like all the same actors and like you're used to a series having the same actors, same like plot. It's all like these different shows, but it'd be some wild stuff that happens, and it's like they put out deep messages. You know what I'm saying? But you'll see some wild stuff, so you'll have a better understanding of what Jeezy means when he
gives you like a Twilight Zone vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could definitely see that. I could see that. I'll tell you what though. What as being a long form content creator, I feel like for you guys, it's easier to be a long form content creator that learns how to be a short form content creator than it is to be a short form content creator and creating long form content. I feel like that challenge is harder because you're taking people, like you said, from having like a 10-second, 20-second, 30-second span. Now it's like, yo, watch this 5, 7, 10-minute, 12-minute video. They're not trying to do that, bro. It's a challenge I deal with on YouTube. Personally, I've been able to do the shorts, but the long form is like, I don't know, man. It's tough.
You got to make it entertaining throughout the whole thing. You got to grab somebody's attention. It has to be like real interesting, and you got to strategically save stuff for last. Put the last in the beginning. Make sure that the middle is you got enough entertaining information in the middle. Like it's a lot that you got to do. It's a strategy behind it.
You still in the shop too?
Yeah.
How many days?
And a lot of people think that. Hold on, wait a minute. My books is open. I just need to throw this out there. My books is open. It's a lot. I've been talking to a lot of my clients, and I was like, man, I wonder why. Because some of my clients were like, man, somebody noticed me. You know what I mean? And it was because of your videos. That's what's up. And they was asking me, how do I book appointment with you? As if as if it's so impossible. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, just go on the website, go on his Instagram, book with him. It's right there.
So to be fair, I went on your Instagram and you say book in a link, but when I went to 360 Jeezy, all I seen was
no. It says book now.
Oh, so you're saying click the book now option and book with you.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I overlooked that myself. So that could maybe be could be it. Because I clicked the website.
No. But okay, let me tell the story. So he basically was like, man, how do you get an appointment with him? He's like, bro, just go on you can either go on the website, velocitycuts.com. You can't go on 360jeezy.com. I just sell the brushes there, but you can go on my Instagram and book through my Instagram. So he was like, oh, that's what's up. But he was like, I told him, I was like, I wonder why people make it seem like it's so hard to book with me. He was like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like you were this guy that's on social media and you were just untouchable and you couldn't get reached. In my mind, I was thinking you already booked. I can never get an appointment. And I'm like, dang. He was like, yeah, I had to get over that and just try. And I'm like, man, listen, my books is open. Okay, I got slots. I done changed everything to 30 minutes now. So I got
you
spots
that
available.
barber.
Yeah. So no. I was doing 45 minutes after the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, boom, and we came back, I was like, I don't want to see that many people in a day. I'm cool. Let me go to 45 minutes. But then after everything kind of, fell back, I'm like, oh man, shoot, I'm missing out on a lot of money right now, not going to cutting 30 minutes. So I went back to 30 minutes, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it now.
How many you cut 5, like how many days a week? What's that? What's the hours?
I cut Tuesdays through Saturdays.
Bro,
I'm in the shop.
This dude is so at the end. Well, listen, Will. I just realized in this moment I'm doing a gym talk with 2 machines right here because here's what I realized. This dude Will, I be talking to Will, and I don't know how he has time for all of the stuff he does, bro. I don't get it. And now talking to you to realize you're still in the shop cutting 5 days a week, and you're still pumping out YouTube content and content on Instagram.
Yeah.
Bro, what does that process look like? Like how do you do that? Or do you have like set days where you focus on content or set time frames?
So I drop Tuesdays, Thursdays, and now I'm dropping on Saturdays. But the days where I drop are my free days. I don't work on them days that I drop. Like today, I wouldn't have. That's how I got all this free time today, because I wasn't planning on editing anything. So tomorrow is my editing day to drop for Thursday. Friday will be another editing day to drop for Saturday. On Saturday, don't have to edit. Sunday, don't have to edit. Monday, I edit for Tuesday. That's my schedule on it. So the days that I'm not really editing, I chill with my family. I do activities with them, and being away so too, brush my hair and stuff, doing what I love to do.
So, Jeezy, let me ask you this. You said those are your editing days, right? But you said you work 5 days, Tuesday through Saturday. So are you early morning barber, swing shift, evening? Like what does your schedule look like on days you work? 9 to 5. So editing is during that 5 to 9 on those specific days, Wednesday and Friday.
From 5, you got it right. 5 to 9. Yeah. You got the right amount of time too, because if I don't start at 5, it's definitely 10.
It's so funny it's so funny you say that, because it's one of the first things I learned in business. They said you work 9 to 5 to support your lifestyle, and you work 5 to 9 to build your fortune. And that's exactly what you've done. And I don't even know you, and I know that's how that go, because that's what makes sense for somebody who got a family and somebody who prioritizes what they're doing with the time. So you've clearly prioritized, and then you still work a 9 to 5. There's so many people who may say, I want to be a content creator like 360 Jeezy, so I need to not work at a barbershop. And you're telling me 360 Jeezy works 9 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, but he prioritizes his time. I think so many of us waste more time than we actually prioritize. Yeah. So shout out to you, man. It's a beautiful schedule, bro, and it's working for you. So I'm loving it.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with a cost too, though. It ain't like it don't come with a cost. You know what I mean? I don't have any friends that I hang out with, like just go to the bar, wait out here. You know what I mean? It's just me and my family, basically. Bro. So
me neither.
I don't have any distractions to get me out of doing what I basically set my life schedule to do. You know what I mean? So
I tell people my hangout time is in the shop, bro. That's where I hang out with my people. I ain't going out for drinks and all of that. I'm home with my wife and my kids, bro.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just being productive. It's like, when we work, and when we play, we play. But we don't mix the two. So many people mesh the two. They try to make work fun. Right. Oh, like I used to tell young barbers this when I first started my barbershop journey, right? They were like, yo, Stan, we need to put a PlayStation in here. I'm like, you're here to make money. You're not here to play.
Right.
I said, the best advice I can give you is when you're working, work. When you want to go play the game, just not at work.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And they couldn't understand that. They're like, yo, we're at the shop chilling. I'm like, yeah, but then you have a bunch of people coming here to play games, coming to play, not to pay. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of people coming to play, not to pay. And the goal is to get paid first so you can play. Right. So yeah, I love that. 9 to 5, 5 to 9. Sweet, bro. Love it. You give me hope thinking I could do something like that now.
I don't know how you knew the time schedule. Like your time schedule on me is on point. Like 5 to 9. That's exactly what it takes to edit. The time that I put in, that's exactly what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I look up, it's 9:30 or something like that. I'm done.
Yeah. Right. And then like you said, the other thing I appreciate about what you said, and a lot of things just by listening to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not listening to respond, but like listening to understand allows me to pick up on that stuff. And then you said on the weekends you spend time with your family.
Right.
Me and Mar talk about this a lot, and maybe you can elaborate on this a little bit, where the foundation being the family, right? Like that's the goal for all of us at some point. It should be, right? Like we don't work hard and build all the stuff we build to not leave some sort of legacy, right? And some of the best advice I was given from a mentor years ago was that your family and your house is your first business. If you can get that right, the business stuff is easy. What would you say if you heard something like that? Do you agree, or how do you prioritize family in your life?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with my situation. My wife, she's understanding. I have a wife that understands. I have a wife
we get it.
Yeah, I have a wife that been with me when I was broke. You know what I'm saying? When
Mine too.
Have nothing. So it's like
mine 3.
She understands. Okay, he has to grind for us to have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she really doesn't like. She throws me the alley-oop instead of like hassle me about like, oh, this and this and this and that. Like, as long as I spend time, coming to bed, as long as I spend time with the kids on the weekends and go to their games or their, you know what I'm saying? Those small little details. You know what I mean? Everything else is all good. She don't sweat me at all. And I'm the breadwinner of the house as well. That dynamic, you know what I mean, is, to me, it's that old school mentality. You know what I'm saying? My wife don't work. She stays home, takes care of the house and the kids, and I'm out here grinding. You know what I mean? She's just understanding, man. I got to shout out to my wife for her ability to understand like the grind that I go through.
Yo, Jeezy's wife, thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you, Jeezy's wife. Thank you. Will's wife, thank you. Baby, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you. You know, like, bro, for real though. Yo, I remember one time I was complaining, right? And I'm like, you know, because I be trying, you know how we are. We're trying to inspire and empower and show people the way and all of this stuff. Wherever it comes from, we don't know, but we trying to do it, right? And I remember one time I was in a rant talking about how, you know, people just don't want it bad enough, or, you know, people are lazy, or, you know, all of those common things we say when it comes to barbers not doing things that they know they need to do, right? Or say they want to do. And then what I come to learn over time is that so many barbers just don't have that supportive partner. You know, they don't have that person that just lets them go after their stuff. Right. It's you know, if we're using going to barber shows as an example, whether it be a male or female, you know, maybe they get excited and want to go, and their significant other, you know, doesn't want to go, or they want to go alone and their significant other doesn't want them to go alone. And it turns into be this little argument or something. Or maybe they want to start creating content and their significant other makes it a bickering match when they're trying to create content, you know, so it turns into this thing where, you know, they just don't do it because they don't feel like they have that support, you know. And me, I've been fortunate, I've been blessed because I have that support. Have we had our moments? Sure. Of course. I'm sure you have too. I'm sure Will has too. Right. But overall, you know, my wife will support all of my crazy ideas, and she's just understanding and she gets it. And over time, we've been able to figure this thing out to where it works,
Yeah.
So to anybody that's tapped into this, you got to find that supportive person. I know you're about to say something. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I got to throw this out there too. Let's just say my wife did work. You know what I'm saying? Let's say she was really pitching in financially as far as like going out and having her job and doing her hustle. You know what I'm saying? I would then pick up that slack. You know what I mean? Like things that don't think that, if you have a significant other and they're working, like, nah, you got to pitch in too. You know what I mean? You gotta there's certain things that you have to do in order, because if she's bringing in 50 and you bringing in 50, the 50 got to involve everything, the household chores, you know what I mean? Like just everything that involves 50-50. If she bringing in some money and just some financial you know what I'm saying, help, you you can't be on the video games, you know what I mean? You can't be on social media just, you know what I mean,
doing whatever,
trying to grind, and that's where the divide will come in. That's where I feel like she will start to feel some type of way, because she's not only taking care of work, she's taking care of home too. So
and it's the it's what I always tell people, like the house stuff translates very well to business. In business, as entrepreneurs, as all three of us are, it's whatever it takes, right? In your relationship with your wife and your kids and your family, it truly is whatever it takes. So if she has to take on other responsibilities like work and other things like that, you have to pick up certain things. Like I make it my mission each and every day when I leave my house. I tell my wife, I'm going to make your life easier. I'm going to work so I can make it easier. Whether it's take some stress off, whether it's hire a maid, whether it's hire a chef, whether it's, pay for these camps, whether it's, to make sure whatever it is, ultimate goal is to make it easier for you, right? And in return, that's reciprocated. Another thing I would tell, especially young barbers and young men in the game too, is before you start entertaining these women, know what you want as far as what you want to do with your life. A lot of times we talk about not having a supportive partner. Well, you're not giving them anything to support. All of them start out supportive.
Right.
But when you're distracted and you're not focused and you don't know what you want in life or what you're trying to accomplish or what your mission is, they get frustrated and think, oh, you're just trying this. You're not really passionate about it. So if they're not supportive, you need to look in the mirror and question yourself. Is it because your woman knows you, bro? You can't lie to her. She can only decide to agree with it or not. Like I told my wife I was going to open up a school 10 years ago and it's here. You know what I'm saying? And she's been down with me the entire time because she knew I was going to do that. So when I had to sacrifice and work for an entire year, pretty much day and night without getting paid, there were times this past year where she felt like a single mom because I was working so much. But now there's teachers there and I'm here, so it's a give and take, but you got to give the woman something to support. And then by serving her, you build trust with her. You know what I'm saying? And I think the men, we set the temperature in the relationship and we got to learn how to do that up front before we ask a woman to serve our needs. You know what I'm saying? You have to lead by example, man.
We be getting mad like, yo, I want to go to the shows, bro, but like my girl, she got a problem with me going. It's like, yeah, bro, because when you go to the shows, you chasing all of the female barbers around. She know you, bro. I want to do my I want to do my social media thing, but she always be complaining about what I do on it. Yeah, bro, because she see you slide in the DM. She not stupid, bro.
Right.
She's not dumb. She's seeing who you follow. She knows you, bro. You gotta start acting right, bro. Like, you gotta get that support. You
gotta give them something to support. It's the same way when you talk about, oh, your friends don't support you. You ain't giving them nothing to support. You giving them some janky, first to the market product. Tell them why you don't support. They know you just created that in your backyard.
Yeah.
They like, look, bro, you my guy, but come on, dog. That ain't no real product. You just slapped your label on it, but you talking about support. Like, you got to look in the mirror, man, and really give people something to support, and they will support you straight up.
Yeah, we just be expecting it, right? Like we be expecting because you're my friend or you're my family, that you should just automatically support us. And it's like, no, I've had them thoughts too, especially younger Marv, right? It's just like, what?
Yeah.
You don't support me. They must not be my real friends. I'm trying to learn how
Yeah.
to cut hair. They don't want to get their hair cut by me. They're not my real friends. It's like, or they just don't want you to jack their hair up. They just don't want you to mess their hair up. Not everybody wants to be the test dummy. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Right.
And here's some real stuff too. Like I have friends, and they've asked me to refer them to some of my other friends, and I tell them straight up, you haven't earned that yet, and they get mad, and I'm like, nah, bro, you haven't earned that yet. Like my circle of friends, man, I protect that. You know what I'm saying? Like my word is my bond with them. I'm not just referring them somebody because they're like, oh, so and so Will, he know him, so let me just see if Will will refer me. And I'll tell that person and like, look, bro, you haven't earned that yet. Like I'm not comfortable doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do call them, I need them to answer. If I waste my phone calls on you because we cool, I'm wearing out my welcome. And you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with elite level people, man, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah, you can't be
You
playing.
got to give people something to support, and you got to show people real product, and then people will say, okay, yeah.
When you first started cutting, Jeezy, you feel like you had support, or did who were you cutting? Friends, family members?
Yeah, I was cutting.
How was you grinding in the early stages?
So I'm telling you, this is a pause moment, but I was grinding on myself.
Pause. Drop pause in the chat.
Big pause.
I hear you though. I was doing the same thing, messing my head up. I hear you.
Yeah, I was cutting my own hair. So how I built my clientele, well, the little bit that I did have without being a barber and without really promoting myself, was cutting my own hair. And then people were like, man, who cut you? I cut myself. Oh, can you cut me? Oh yeah, I got you. So that's basically how I started. It was a lot of family and friends, but I didn't really, when I went to barber school, I really didn't have clientele like this. But at max, I had 10 people I was cutting on a regular coming to the house. You know what I mean? That translated to barber school too. So how I got started, it just was, cutting myself and being self-advertised.
Yeah, I remember messing up my hair real bad, bro. Because like the 2 guard looks bigger than it is. Like you know what I mean? Like especially when you don't know nothing, right? You don't know what I'm talking about. It looks bigger than this, so I put the 2 on. That bro, it had me looking crazy. I'm like, yo, I was probably doing like a 4 or 5 at that time. I do the 2 on. I thought that was gonna leave enough, man. I wore a hat for like 3 weeks, man. My thinking was though, like if I was gonna learn, I was gonna mess myself up. I wanted to mess myself up as opposed to like messing people up. That was kind of my thinking back then.
So by the time I was cutting others, I was pretty decent though because I was cutting my own hair, and it's way harder to cut your own hair than to cut someone else. I wish I could take my head off and cut it because you know what I mean. It'll probably come out way better.
How were some of their shop experiences early on?
Man, it was just me in the shop.
What do you mean by that? Just like you, the only one that wanted to work, or is just like you doing sweets before sweets?
So my uncle opened the shop. We had this planned from jump. You're gonna open the shop, and I get out of barber school. We're gonna build this thing up. Got into the shop. It was just me. Everybody in barber school that said that they was gonna come with me didn't. So it was basically just me in there. Well, Angel did. She stayed for about a week, and then boom, I was in there by myself. And man, it was just me cutting one person a day. Now I gotta say this too. Hold on. I really gotta go in on this. I gotta speak on this.
Barbers, let's go, Jeezy.
I gotta speak on this.
He got closer to the camera. It's about to get real.
Yeah, because a lot of people will blame it on, oh, you were 360 Jeezy. You were 360 Jeezy. That's why you were known. I had to tell my uncle this. I was like, Uncle Kev, I don't think you really know. I got 30,000 people following me, but there's 30,000 people all over the world, Uncle Kev. That's not in Vacaville. And that really clicked to him like, dang. So
speak to it.
You know what I'm saying? So when we started the shop, I had 30,000 followers on YouTube. Now, I was cutting one person a day. When we opened the shop, I would cut one person, boom, I would get that, go home, just be like, man, go back in the shop. But I stayed in the shop from 9 to 8 to build my clientele.
Open to close. Open to
Open
close.
to close. Oh, wait, it ain't even open to close. It's open to hope. It's open. It's open to be like, hey, shoot, I can't stay here no longer. It's 8 o'clock. All right, I gotta go home. I gotta. It's over.
Respect for sure.
So I believed in myself though. I 100% believed if I cut one person, that person's gonna tell the next person. If I cut one person, that person gonna tell the next person. So as I'm cutting one person a day, over time, that started to happen. That person, hey, I came in because you cut what's his name? Oh, I came in because you cut what's his name? Oh, I came in because you cut what's his name? I cut one kid. He went to school. He posted his cut on Twitter. I went viral on Twitter in that school. I had a bunch of kids coming to me. And I'm talking about, like, I would take all those opportunities. Like, anybody that come in, it didn't matter if they looked crazy or not. Hey, can I film this? Can I record this? Why? Because I do YouTube and I teach people how to cut hair. Some people would say no, and that was discouraging in a mug. To get a no for me, to get a no, it hurts. It's a blow. No.
You gonna say no to me?
No. I wasn't even with that attitude because I was like, some people just don't want to be on camera.
That's a fact.
Some people just don't want to be on camera. So it's kind of, especially in the earlier stages, I wasn't popping like
this
that.
This is when right. This is when you first started.
Yeah,
right?
This is. I was talking about waves on YouTube.
This is before you were singing.
Yeah.
When your confidence, hey,
he was singing.
When your confidence is fragile, a no hurt for sure.
Right.
Really bad.
Right. So
I'm with you.
I would get no's. I would get, hey, yeah, go ahead. It would be a lot of young people that would say yes. And shout out to everybody around the Vacaville, Fairfield area, all the students that put me on. Shout out to you guys, because they wasn't tripping at all. Yeah, go ahead, do what you do. You know what I mean? And they were the reason, that sparked everything. That everything went up, because once I started cutting them, man, the community, as far as kids, they went crazy. I had a lot of high school students in the earlier stages. So for all the barbers that's coming out of school, like, don't stray away these kids. All right. I do have stories right now where I'm like, hey, I don't cut kids below 7. You know what I mean? But hold on. Before I got to that state, before I got to not being able to cut kids,
pay them dues.
I was taking all of them kids. Some of them kids right now that I was cutting from back in the days, they 13 now. They 12 now. They older now. Some of them, shoot, in college now. You know what I mean? And that started because I was taking them kids earlier on. Now I do kind of need to change my model and cut some kids. I need to start cutting some old babies. I'm gonna be honest. I need to start going back to the roots, because you know what I'm saying. Them same clients, if you think about it, them same clients do grow up. You know what I mean? And when you cut kids, they for some reason, they not for some reason, but they loyal. They parents is gonna faithfully. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing a good job, they parents gonna faithfully.
And their parents go to birthday parties every weekend, events, football practice. Before you know it, you're the rec center's team barber,
right?
Or football team and stuff. And then as they grow into high school, they control the trends. TikTok ain't nothing but high schoolers, right? So they control the trends, right? So even if they can't afford to pay you now, they'll give you the attention you need to pay you later. Right. And as barbers, we got to think longevity. We got to think, what's in it. Everything that we do is an investment 5 to 10 years from now. So that's actually very smart. It's actually very smart. I like it.
I also want to talk about cost and what I was charging when I first started. I want to say we was charging $20. At the time, the going rate was $25. You know what I mean? But in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I'm cutting one person a day. How do we get people in here to where they're feeling like, all right, let me try them out. So I basically undercutted the market and was like, I'm gonna charge 20. And then military, I'm gonna charge 18. Senior citizens, I'm gonna give them 15. Kids, I'm gonna go down to 12. You know what I mean? I was lowballing it all, but I believed in myself to where it was like, if I cut them, they gonna be so locked in to when I raise my price, they're not even gonna want to go anywhere else. When I raise my prices, I'm raising them slowly but surely. They're not gonna want to go to nobody else on how consistent I am. You know what I mean? As a barber, so I'm always on time. You know, I being on. Listen, that's
I'm about to say you can stay there. You can stay there. You can stay there.
Right.
Bro,
That's all it is. I'm thinking of other stuff. I'm sitting here trying to think of other stuff. I'm like, the people come to me because I'm on time all the time.
Hey, you don't have waiting 2 hours.
Yeah, you're not waiting 2 hours. If I have to go do something, I'll let you know a week in advance. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it as far as like, there's very few times where it's like, oh, I just didn't show up at all, and I didn't know you were going. That rarely happens. You know what I mean? I take accountability. If I don't want...
Hold on. Wait a minute. What? 30-minute haircuts. You're on time and you take accountability.
Barbers do that nowadays.
3.5 million on YouTube. Hold on.
You have to. You have to. I'm a type of person that I never wanted to be questioned on, bro. I never want anybody to say that to me. I never wanted to say, oh man, I can't cut you. You late. Bro, you be late on me all the time. Nah, you can't say that with me. I'm here all the time. When you come in, 5-10 minutes, you in a chair. If not, if not, I don't have anybody in my chair. You come right on in and getting service right away. You know what I mean? So I just care about being on time because how I would want to be treated. You know what I mean? In any establishment. I'm a very timely person. Like, if you're not on time for me, I'm gonna be Marv, when was I here?
Yeah, he was here, bro.
Yeah,
bro was here. He was.
Hey man,
if we was late for this live to be, it was me. I was late. Jeezy was ready to go. He's like, "Let's go live." I'm like, "Jeezy, hold up. We gonna get it." But Jeezy was on time.
Hey, and it's so funny, right? It's like you're speaking to the young people, but obviously, me hearing you talk and getting to know you a little bit more just through this live, it is so easily to see why you're so successful. It's so easy to see. Like, I'm just listening to you, and I'm like, there's time management, the value of time, the structure of his life, accountability, letting his sister talk him into getting on YouTube, listening to what the other people want, not what he necessarily wants, showing people how to cut hair, asking them, can they record it if they say no, overcoming rejection. All of these things are quality traits that young people need to understand.
Right.
So what are some of your thoughts when you see some of these young people out here wilding out of barber school, bro? Hopping on Instagram, talking about $100 a cut, know your worth. Hopping on Instagram, talking about, if you can't afford it, sorry, there's a barber out there that can. Oof. Like, do you see that type of stuff? Do you just
I see it? I feel like some of us dropped the ball. As far as like setting the example. To be honest with you, it's not enough of us speaking like this and operating like this. And these, sad to say, but some of the influencers are to blame because of it, because they're showing the success, but not showing what it took to get there. They're just showing, all you see is the success. All you see is okay, he's at 100K, he's doing shows, he's and it's just like you said on that post, Marv, like they get up there and they say, know your worth. That's kind of the wrong message to send to somebody coming straight out of school. They want to be where you are.
And
Know your worth ain't enough.
it's
Know your
not.
worth
And you know
ain't
what's
it.
so it's not. It's terrible. It's terrible word choice, right? Because
Yeah.
when they say know your worth, the irony in it all is them standing where they are. They don't even know their worth. Because if they knew the power of their influence, they'd leverage it to create more positive change than they actually do. So they say it tongue in cheek and don't even know their own worth. So then it sounds fraudulent, and we can't do nothing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough, man.
It's funny because
I've
I
sat in
agree.
crowds. I've sat
Yeah,
in
go ahead, bro.
crowds
Go
and
ahead.
I've seen a person. I've sat in crowds and I've seen people go up there and say, you just got to know your worth. Figure out what kind of car you want to drive, calculate the cost, and tell your clients this is how much they got to pay because this is how much you're worth now. Because this is the type of car that a person of your stature wants to drive. And I'm sitting
For
here like, yo, bro. I turned around in the crowd and told the people behind me, please don't listen to that.
Yo, bro, he
Please
was
don't listen
so
to that.
mad. I remember that day. He was so mad about it. He hit me up. Will be venting to me a lot. I'd be listening here. He was so mad that day, bro. I remember.
I was
that.
like, yo, because there's people in there, man, who spent their hard-earned money. They go to show, they pay 150 a ticket, 200 a ticket, 300 a ticket to be sold the newest clipper that just dropped and be told know your worth and invest in your tools, bro. Can we just eliminate those for 1 year, please? Invest in your tools and know your worth. And know your worth. Can we just eliminate those two
I'm not
advice
even a
gems?
cancel culture guy, but we might have to cancel that, bro. That might have to get canceled.
That sounds like I don't want you to be where I am and buy my product.
Yes, it does.
That's what that sounds.
And you know what? And that sounds very transactional. And we can't get anywhere if we only focus on transactions, man. At some point, the people at the top, right, in our industry, right, at some point, we got to reach back down and help the little man. That's what ultimately brings the industry forward, right? And you have to have a sense of humility to do that. And you have to have an ability to say, you know what? You have to have a sense of contentment. I have enough. Let me start giving some of this away to help improve and give the people that come behind me hope. Because at the end of the day, if we don't get young people involved in our industry and doing the right things, we're going to die out to whatever it is, regulations, whatever, because people aren't going to be able to come in our industry and have sustainable success because they're following a pipe dream. And when it blows up, people get discouraged, and deferred hope make the soul sick. So then people become sick of our industry. And, like I always tell Marv, they go start driving trucks. We need our leaders to wrap our arms around the new and upcoming and young people to help them bring them along. And it's one of the reasons why I decided to open up a school, because we've all been on YouTube. We've all been on Instagram for the past 5 to 10 years. Schools at one point weren't seen in a good light.
Right.
And it was in that moment where I said, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to go build a school people can be proud of, so I can stop waking up every day and hearing how bad they are. And there's so many things that happen in our industry that some of our leaders can solve these issues, but they have to care enough to step down off of the stage and walk slowly through the crowd and make time for other people, not just themselves.
Well, it's like we were talking about the other day. He brought up a good point, Jeezy, where he's just like, we need less barber influencers and more barber leaders. It's like that's the new mission. That's the new movement. You know what I'm saying? Where it's
the identity shift.
Yeah, it's identity shift. Like rather than people thinking like I want to be an influencer. It's like what is that really? Right? I want to sell some clippers, get some free clippers. It's like I think we need to focus more on leadership, and Will's the guy that drives us home with me a lot. It's like, we need to build more leaders as opposed to just building influencers.
I'm very convicted. I'm very convicted about that too, because I go to school every day with 19 and 20-year-olds, and I'm in the classroom teaching them. And when they first
You right in the trenches, bro.
I'm in the trenches with them. So I'm with them. Like these my young these my young boys. So it's like, yo, like, so I'm in there teaching them, I'm developing them, but I'm also developing their mindset. I'm teaching them values outside of barbering that they're going to build a successful life with. Right. All of them tell me, they're like, yo, even when I graduate, you still can't get rid of me. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do something. I'm going to call you. I'm going to do, and that's going to be fun over the next 5, 10, 20 years, whatever. Right. But what I try to instill in them is like, day one, I have them all get up in front of the class, tell us why they want to be a barber, why they chose this school, what they're most interested in, and something fun about themselves, right? Those 4 questions is what everybody got to answer on the first of every month, right? And so many of them at times tell me, I want to be an influencer. At 19, 20. And when I pull them to the side, I asked them, I said, what do you want to influence? They're like, oh, I just want to, get signed by a clipper company or this and this and that. And I'm just like, why? And they're just like fascinated by that. And I'm like, yo, if those people could really talk about what that takes, just talk about what it takes, not just know your worth. That would even be better than not saying nothing at all or just acting like, you know what I'm saying? You're just self-made. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, give people some steps, bro. Give people some hope, man. As a leader, that's what you are, a dealer of hope.
Jeezy's
you have to give people
right
hope.
Now. Jeezy, let it out, bro.
Go ahead, dog.
This goes back to what it takes. Like you saying, what it takes. This goes back to everything that I just said. What it takes is you to step away from those friends that you hanging with and focus on what you want to do. It takes not playing on the video games all night and really going in on this influencer journey. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work. It ain't, you gotta stop worrying about being signed to a clipper because people to a clipper company, because people gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do this because you want to love. You got a love for helping others. That's
there it is. There it is. That's the key.
You got to do it for. You know what I mean? And it's hard work. You can't be doing what you want to do. You got to be uncomfortable with doing something that that you're not used to. You're not used to editing. You're not used to being the cameraman and going to work, getting off work, editing, doing this consistently for a long time. Listen, I've been doing this for what, 10 years? I have never stopped putting out a video for 10 years. I put out at least 2 videos a week. I've been doing it for 10 years straight. I never took a break. I never stopped. You know what I mean? That's what it takes. That's the hard work that it takes.
From my man, bro.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like,
I know what that takes, bro. That's
3.5 million people understand that. That's why they follow. Because it's like, yo, man, that discipline alone is incredible. And like you said, you can't do that if you don't want to, right? If you don't want to do it, if you don't have a desire to do it. And that comes from helping other people. A lot of times when I talk to young people and we're talking about purpose, I'm like, what do you want to help people do? Or what do you hate that's happening to people? Because I think a part of us, right, our purpose is always tied to helping someone else. So when people talk to me about not being able to find their purpose, I'm like, how do you want to help someone? What do you want to help them do? And it goes back to what you said, where you were like, yo, that's the main thing. Like, do you want to help other people? What do you want to help other people do?
Right.
It's the quickest way to find out what you should be doing. So
what do you do during the moments where you just like feel like not doing it, right? Because clearly you are very disciplined, right? But you're human at the same time. So, what would you say to somebody that just is thinking about all of this stuff and just the thought of it makes them feel overwhelmed, or maybe they get inspired after this live, but then they run into that roadblock where it's like, all right, well, I did pump out some content, but now I'm a little tired today. Like, what helps you stay as consistent as you do? What's that thought process look like?
Man, that's a good question, because I mean, but it all just, for me, it just goes back to, I built a love for doing this. I'm that kid that used to draw on a piece of paper and really put my heart and soul into it. And then, okay, I'm about to show my dad. I'm about to show my mom.
Yeah.
And just hope that they would be like, oh, that's nice. Oh, you think that's nice? Oh, I'm about to show you what I'm about to go back and draw and do it again. This is what I do on YouTube. Here, you guys. This is what I do. This is what I can do. Let me see in the comment section. Oh, they feeling it. They liking it. Okay, all right. I'm about to go do it again. That's what it is for me. You know what I mean? And by doing that, it makes me feel good when I see those comments that like, man, bro, you really helped me, man. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have never took this route. Man, if it wasn't for you, like those comments, I really like look at them and be like, dang, that's what I'm doing it for. You know what I mean? I don't do it to be sponsored. I'm not sponsored by any.
I hear you, bro. I love it.
Like I don't do it for that. I do it to really help others. You know what I mean? When I pulled up to CT, no, this was Vegas. I think this was Vegas. One of the hair shows.
Yeah.
And somebody came up to me and was like, bro, I was sleeping in my car. Car, bro. I was watching your videos. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, bro, but I went to barber school because of you. By watching your video, he was like, no. Because I was laughing it. I wasn't laughing it off, but I was smiling it off. And he was like, nah. He was basically like, nah.
He was going, it was deep. Yeah, it was deep.
Yeah. Cut the smiling, bro. This serious. Yeah. I'm serious. Like, bro, you don't know. I'm here trying to give you your flowers, bro. Like this, like I was sleeping in my car, watching your videos, bro, and you helped me. And I was like, dang, it hit me hard. Like I dang near wanted to shed a tear, like, because I know the struggle of being in school, and barely having anything going through school, and I having to fight through it, man. That's no joke, man. Because school ain't paying you. School ain't letting you have you probably get the little tips and come through and every now and then, but you ain't cutting that many people. So at least I was at a school that like that.
Yeah, it reminds me. I have 2 students in my school right now that did 1,500 hours at another school, and it closed down, and they have to start over. And I had one in my first graduation class. He did 1,500 hours and had to start over. And there's so many people. Wild. And they're like some of them, like I had one of the guys, he paid me a couple months before my school even was open. Cause he was like, and I was like, and I was trying to make him wait. I was like, yo, just chill. Once I get closer to opening, I'll take your payment so you can start. He said, no, Will. Like he tracked me down. He said, no, I have to give you this money right now because if I don't, I may find something else to do with it. He said, and I want to give you this money right now because I know if I come to class and do the work, you'll make sure I get my license. And he's licensed today, a year later. Funny thing about that is when he first finished his first 1,500 hours, I let him start at my shop because I was in the assumption that he was going to get his license relatively quickly, right? Any shop owners we all probably done that. About 8 months later, he still didn't have his license, and state board came in. It's the only fine I ever got in the last 13 years. So I fired him that day. He quit barbering altogether, moved out of state, worked for his father's fitness company, stuff like that. He came back, went to barber school. He just graduated in February, and his barbershop, he opens up his first barbershop in his hometown, and it opens at the end of the month.
That's a crazy journey right there.
Crazy.
That's wild, bro.
Insane.
The fact that he came back.
For him to tell that story, that's fire.
Yeah. The fact that he came back to barbering.
Oh, and when I fired him, he cussed me out. He was pissed. Most money he ever made.
He probably posted about you.
Oh man, bro, I was all type of yo. I was all the type of
sharing all the memes.
Yeah, bro.
They were all fired at you, bro.
I was all type of MFers and everything, right?
Oh yeah.
But because I didn't engage in that, right, and I did what was right, my integrity still stood strong. Because even in his feelings, he was upset. But then he saw my ad when I first was promoting that I was going to be opening in a couple months. And he was like, this is my opportunity to make it right. And he finished school. He was my best student. He took notes all year, typed them all up and gave it to me as like a textbook of my notes from every class. He sat in the front seat. And his shop is under construction right now. And it'll be opening probably in the next couple weeks. Super excited for him, man, because he's earned it and he can cut too. He's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's tough. He's been through a lot in his life and went through barber school twice, man. You know what I mean? We mess with him because, like, you know, Andre 3000 is prominent out here in Atlanta. So we call him Paul Wall 3000 because that's his name. And he did 3,000 hours of barber school.
Yo,
But
fact.
nah, man, I love the dude, man. He's awesome.
Barber school.
Yeah. He's awesome, man. You know what I mean? But he you know, just that those stories you talk about, man. That's why we do what we do. He was the first student ever signed up at my school.
Yo, Jeezy, that's a dope story. I can't wait till we gotta turn that into some content. Will we gotta show that to the world for sure?
Right.
For sure.
That's dope. Jeezy, you were talking about how when you went to the barber show and the dude, you know, shared that story with you, right? And he's serious. It's like it's not laughing. I know we giggle and all that, but this is real. How different was it for you going to the shows? Because I know you weren't really the show guy like that. You was doing all the internet stuff. You know, I'm going to the shows. I'm never really seeing you there. But, you know, for me, going to the shows, it really is like a whole different experience. You know, you have these viral videos. You have people thanking you in the DM. You have people thanking you in the comments. But from my perspective, when I go to the shows, that's when it really reminds me of why I'm doing this, because you just feel it. So how was that experience for you after getting all this love online, people, you know, showing you, thanking you in the comments, but then you started going and actually meeting these people and feeling that?
Nah, it was crazy. So I went to Barber Brothers the first time, and you know, I'm walking around there wanting to be noticed. Like,
yeah. Hi guys.
let me take off my hat. Maybe they can't see me. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. But as I started to grow, man, I think the first one I went to was I went to CT, but I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really that noticed there. But the first CT where I won that Barber Grammy, that one was crazy. I felt like no lie, I felt like I was a celebrity when I walked in the door. It was tiring, but I wanted it. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. That gave me the energy to go back and keep going. You know what I mean? So like when I go to it now, whoo, it's a job.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a job now. It's
nonstop, right?
Yeah, it's nonstop. It's like if I'm staying at a booth, like I'm staying there for at least 10 minutes, shaking hand, taking pictures. You know what I mean? I can't really even go.
You can't move.
I can't go all around and check out the venues just like everybody else. You know, I gotta just be there and it's not like a lug. I don't want anybody in the comments to be like, ah, man, geez, I ain't gonna mess with him when I see him. Nah. I love it all. You know what I mean? It is just a job to shake hands and talk to so many people. You know what I mean? I need a bottle of water. You know what I mean? Just to talk to everybody.
Big bottle.
Yeah, because it get tiring though to talk to that many people. But
you love it.
I love it though, man. It's dope to hear the stories. It's dope to, you know, shake hands with people, just talk and communicate. You know what I mean? Just to see how many people I inspire, man. But I never thought I was gonna be here. I was just trying to show my work off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to show my art at the end of the day and help somebody. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even about helping in the beginning. It was about showing.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of skeptical on my speech and how I talk. It was my uncle that was like, "Hey man, you teach people how to get waves, right? Why don't you teach people how to cut hair? You just cutting and the beat's playing. Like, say something." And I'm like, man, the way I can't really explain what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That used to be my excuse. I can't really talk. I can't really explain what I'm doing. Well, he was like, well, just try. Just try. You'll get better and better as you keep going. So that's how I started really explaining what I'm doing as far as cutting hair. Because if you go back on my earlier video, it's just the beat playing. I ain't saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the barber's life, though. You know what I mean? Try, fail, try again, try, fail, try again, fail, try again, try again. And it's like, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And when I'm teaching junior instructors at my school, right, and I go up there and I'm teaching class and, you know, they're watching me and they're, you know, and they're like, man, I can't go after you. And I'm like, yes, you can. I'm like, you're watching me 10 years down the line. I started teaching in 2013, 2014. And I was like, you got to embrace the suck. The first time everybody does anything, they suck.
Yo,
Just
bro,
go get that
hold
out
on.
the way.
We need another no Diddy in the chat. Embrace,
Hold on,
embrace the suck, bro. He said embrace.
You do though.
Y'all gonna let that pass? The pause people
right.
in the chat, y'all gonna
Hey
let
man,
that pass?
hey man, just
I feel you, Will, but I know the
okay,
pause
not
people ain't
okay.
letting that slide, bro.
You gotta embrace being sorry. How about that? You know what I mean? You're not any good, right? You're not any good because we have to set a foundation so then we can measure if we're growing or not. If we don't ever get a starting point, we can't measure our success or we can't measure our growth. And if you can't track it, you can't measure it, it ain't gonna grow. Right. So I tell them, go up there and get, and then you said something earlier, Jeezy, when you were talking about film, right? When you were like, I was trying to film all my clients, like when I was first starting out, because you had time, right? And I teach my barbers this now, my students. Put yourself on film. All of the greats, when we're talking basketball, football, any sport, right? Sports run the world. They all watch film. Tom Brady's, the Peyton Manning's, they watch film. Everybody watches film. So put your cuts on film. Put your classes that you taught on film. Because as you go edit those videos, like you did, right? You edited in videos. As people go edit their videos for social media, you actually get better by doing that work. So one of the things we talked about, like, yo, Jeezy, how do you have time to edit the videos? Look at that like your classroom. Look at the editing videos, not like editing videos is work. Look at it like this is my opportunity to grow. It'll motivate you and excite you to go ahead and do it. I want you to share, like during the editing, what were those feelings and those thoughts like as you're putting those videos together? What did you start to notice that helped you get better as you were going through the editing process?
Well, I mean, during the editing, I'm a little self-absorbed. I don't really even know what that means, but I like. So I think I'm funny, right?
Okay.
I think I'm funny. So when I'm editing, not a lot of people may not think I'm funny. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
But
you
I
good,
think
bro.
I'm funny. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
I think
you
I'm
be
funny.
laughing at yourself. I know.
I be laughing at myself when I'm editing these videos. So as I'm editing, you know what I'm saying? At first, in the earlier stages, it was kind of hard. It was rough, rough cuts, rough transitions, but as I'm doing it, I start to like get better and better and better over time. I mean, it was frustrating at first, but that's just with everything, man. You just get better with time. I wasn't always good at editing. All right. The first couple of months was the toughest. Made me want to be like, man, I research, YouTube, everything. If you're editing, you're feeling frustrated, YouTube it. What you want to do, whatever transitions you want to do, YouTube it. Whatever you think it's called. If it's a transition where it looked glitchy, let me see. Let me type in glitch transitions. Let me see if I can even get that for free. Let me type in free glitches on YouTube and see if any pop up. Let me try to get Final Cut Pro for free and type it in on the internet and see. I ain't trying to. Hey, there's ways to get around it. You know what I'm saying? If money permits, it's ways to get around it. So that's what I did in the early stages. I just learned how to do everything from YouTube, man.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is, because like earlier when, we're talking about, what gets you through some of the struggles and what keeps you going, and keeps you disciplined and keeps you consistent, what underneath it all, you just have a burning desire to do it, right? You don't even really know where it comes from. You just want to put out content.
Hold on.
What am I gonna get paused or something? What's going on?
I gotta do this.
Let's go, bro.
I gotta do that.
Let's go.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
God first. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying? And that's what gives me the strength to knock out all that negative things that come in my mind and be like, oh man, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't it's too hard. Nah. Because with God, all
Yeah.
things is possible. So I live by that
Amen.
as well. You know what I mean? So that's
Mhm.
I love that. And I love you brought that element into it because we definitely need that message spread more in our industry. I
yeah.
think in the world, period. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
need more people to step up. There's enough negativity and
Yeah.
enough of this BS.
I
We need more
believe
people on that type
the
of time.
further away the further away society gets from Christ-like living, the more problems we have.
Yeah, for
True.
sure.
True.
The more we get away from Christ-like living. We ain't got to be Christ. We ain't got to try to call. I get so irritated when people call themselves a god. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, let that word stay by itself, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put Christ up there and let that just stay there. Everything else is
Yeah.
underneath that.
Right.
And how I try to live my life, Jeezy, is like that. God, family, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
God, family,
Yeah.
everything else. And that's the pyramid of life. That's how it worked, man. So
That's
I respect that, man. I love that, and I respect that about you.
for me,
Yeah, I do
man.
too.
It just knocks out all the
It's another thing we all
negativity.
got in common, by the way, too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, it
Yeah.
just knocks out all the negativity, all the negative thoughts, because I could always resort back to the word, and what it
Yep.
says. One of my mottos is hard work, dedication, motivation, consistency, the will to keep going. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you go. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Barbers.
That's
Yes, sir.
with all that said and done, you have to be dedicated. You got to put in that work.
Yeah.
The Bible
Yeah.
says faith without works is dead. So you
It
can
did.
sit
Yep.
here and pray all you
Right.
want. If
Yeah.
you ain't
Faith.
doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't
Faith.
putting in the
Faith.
work, it's just dead.
Yep.
So
I'll add on to that, Jeezy. Faith without works is dead,
yeah.
and diligence brings upon wealth.
Mm,
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 mm.
mm,
Mm.
I ain't heard that one. Go ahead.
mm.
Diligence
Let's
brings
go. The
upon
gems is
wealth.
coming. Y'all better be flooding. Y'all better be flooding the chats with the gems. Y'all better stop playing, bro.
And
I love that.
diligence is that consistency.
Chasing the
Doing it,
live just keeps getting
doing
better and better.
doing it when nobody else is watching. That's what
Fact.
ultimately makes us successful. What you do when nobody else is watching. People watch 360 on YouTube, but they're not watching him from 5 to 9 edit them videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Yeah.
watching his schedule that he builds out for content. You know what I'm saying? He may be gifted as a creative. You know what I'm saying? But we know where he got that from. It's on the back of his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Bible, it also says, if you use your gifts and you share your gifts, they'll make a way for you. We
It'll
all
make
have
room.
gifts.
Come on now.
It'll make room for you. Yeah.
Yo, we going to
It's
church. We
it's
in the
why
Barber's University,
yeah,
Barber's
why
church right
not?
here, bro.
Why not?
What?
That's where it's all built from. That's the
Yeah.
foundation from the beginning
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
And it's what inspired me to write my upcoming book I'm gonna write this year. To highlight that about sharing your gifts. I'm writing a book called What's in Your Hand, because it's inspired by the story of Moses when he went to go free the Israelites, right? God called him to go to Israel to free the Israelites. They were in bondage, they were in slavery. And he gave God every excuse, right? I'm not big enough, I'm not strong enough. Not me, pick somebody else. I'm not ready yet. Go get somebody. He gave God all these excuses. How many barbers give us excuses when we say go to work early, stay late, be nice to people, start at
Right.
market rate, then raise your price over time, create content, promote yourself. Mars been hollering promote yourself for 1,000 years,
Yeah.
right?
You just
So
keep saying the same stuff,
then
bro. Talk about
stop.
something new.
Can you stop yelling? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, yo, it's so crazy, right? It's in barber terminology, but it's from Bible talk. You know what I'm saying? And when God called him to go do that, he gave a bunch of excuses, right? But eventually, because he's like, all I have is this stick, and that stick ended up being the rod of God that would free the slaves and the Israelites from bondage.
Mm.
And when I'm going to write the book, it's going to be inspired by that story where I talk about what's in your hand. Because when I was 15 years old, my grandmother bought me a pair of $15 clippers from Walmart, and I took those pair of clippers and built a multi-million-dollar operation. So to be able to take that and do that, if I would have gave a bunch of excuses on something like a $15 pair of clippers, start lining myself up, and wouldn't have seeked going after that gift seemingly that was insignificant from grandma when I was 15 years old, some of the stuff I've been able to do in my own life wouldn't be there today. And being able to rely on that word that we're speaking about, countless times to just speak life into you.
Right.
A lot of times people are like, well, how does God speak to you? Through his word, but you got to go read it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you understand it, then it becomes a part of you and it's in your spirit and then it guides you. But if you
Man.
never open that book and you don't seek that word, he can't speak to you because you ain't looking for him. So,
Some, I just want to share this too. I feel like God gives you stuff just
mm-hmm,
like the devil gives you things. When that negativity pops in your head and it's like, oh man, you start soaking into it. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
God gives you, for me, God gives
mm-hmm,
me things like that
mm-hmm,
as well. And I see the fruit later after I actually listen. You know what I mean? With the whole 360 theme song,
mm-hmm.
that just popped in my head. I know where it came from. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
for
This
sure.
came from God. This was a tune that came from God to set
Mm-hmm,
this up for now.
mm-hmm,
So this tune wouldn't leave my head.
mm-hmm,
Dun, 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 dun. That's how it started off. And I was like,
mm-hmm,
oh man, that's a good tune right there. I wonder if anybody like has a song like that and it's just stuck in my head. But no,
mm-hmm,
this was just a tune. It was stuck in my head. And then boom, I put the words to it. It fit. I put my name on it.
mm-hmm,
It fit perfectly.
mm-hmm,
360 Jeezy. I was like, oh
mm-hmm,
snap. Oh
mm-hmm,
snap. From then on, that's, to me, that's how God works. And I know it
mm-hmm,
because some things I do that God gives me, it be stuff that I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. I
But you know
don't
you
want to
need to.
apologize.
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
I don't want to apologize. But when you go do
mm-hmm,
it, you see the fruit
mm-hmm,
from it. The other person will start crying and telling you, oh man, thank you for saying that. You know what I mean? They just break down. You know what I mean? That's how I know that was God. Dang.
yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
it
So
it was
it
something
goes
I
back to
read,
your
I think
point.
today.
It definitely goes back to your point of when
Yeah,
you're trying to seek him, when you're reading and you're
yeah,
involved and you're in it, that's when God will
yeah,
drop stuff on you.
yeah, yeah. I believe that's the genius everybody has. I believe each per God has given every single person gifts,
Yeah,
and your like intuitive genius comes from when you're focused and in alignment and doing what you were called to do.
right.
That's why the great get greater. A distracted person can't do anything, right? So a lot of times we dibble and dabble in stuff that makes us comfort. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those things, oftentimes, especially when we're younger, are a bunch of distractions. And we have
Mm,
to eliminate those, right? And everybody's always talking about, you got to cut out your bad habits. And I'm like, okay, cool, right? But cutting out bad habits, we all can agree are hard. Yes or no?
right,
They're
right,
hard, right? So what I try to teach people at school, and I try to teach my students to do is let's just build new habits. Everybody gets excited about building something new. Let's not worry about that. We'll drown those out. It's the same thing when we
mhm,
talk faith and fear, right? If you feed your faith, you starve your fear. If you feed your fear, you starve your faith. It's either or, right? You know what I mean? So it's like you got to have both, but it's like we don't have to cut anything out. They're already here. We just have to build better habits going forward. And that's why I tell
right,
people, man, your focus should always be forward. Don't worry about your past. It's how you get in trouble. It's how you relapse. Just keep it forward and keep it focused and just try to build good habits moving forward. And those ideas start to flow, man. So
right.
Yeah.
this is
And
good
I
stuff,
love,
man. I'm excited about this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, hell yeah. And I love this. I love where it went because this honestly, this wasn't where I was going with it, but
We're
we
going.
here, so we chilling here now. I was going a totally different direction. Jeezy was like, and now we here, and I'm for it. What are y'all feeling in the chat? Let us know if you're loving this conversation. Flooded with gems. One of the things that you said is like, you know, you don't always when God is sending you these signs, they don't always feel good, but you know what I mean? They're the signs you need to follow, and I
Right.
think a lot of times, we ignore the signs because we just don't truly at times understand when God is speaking to us,
Right.
and an example of that is I remember I heard this story from this speaker, and I'm probably going to butcher, but y'all get the point. But it's something about this dude being like stuck in the sea, right? And he's praying to God for some, God save me, God save me. And I'm sure you guys have heard the story. People listening probably haven't, but it's like, God save me, God save me. So what happens is, like, a boat comes by with somebody trying to help him, and the dude's just like, nah, I'm good, God's got me, appreciate it though. And the dude keeps it moving. Another boat comes, yo, you need help, whatever. Nah, I'm good, God's gonna save me. Dude keeps going. Another boat comes, you need anything, we can help you. Nah, God's gonna save me. So the dude ends up dying, right? And then he goes to heaven and he sees God and he says, yo, God, what happened? You said you was gonna save me. I believe you're gonna save me. You ain't save me. What happened? And God's like, bro, I sent you 3 boats and you let everyone pass, right? So, and it's a lot of times in our life, we get these signs, we know what we need to do, but we rather go with what feels comfortable as opposed to going in the uncomfortable direction, or we rather just, stick to our habits rather than doing what we know is right. And I think at the end of the day, it's just, being in tune with that voice, paying attention, and doing what you know to be right, regardless of how it feels. What you know to be right is what is going to get you to where it is you're trying to go. And I think that, listening to you speak, listening to Will speak, you guys do what obviously you're human, right? So we all make mistakes, but you try your best to do what you know to be right, regardless of how that feels,
Trust me, I make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all peaches and cream. I ain't perfect.
How you learning?
I at least try. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I hold on to. Like I'm at least trying. You know what I mean? We all fall short. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Only Jesus was perfect. So,
amen.
As long as
speaking of falling short, what were some of the things you feel like you fell short with early on in your career? Like some of the mistakes you think you made that you would have did different.
Ooh, that's a good one. Money management.
Speak on it.
Money management. Actually, man, I'm still dealing with it. Not money management, but like actually getting like insurance. Like I just found out about you can insure your hands. I was like, man, well, hold on, wait a minute, you could do that? Oh, okay, that's what's up. You know what I mean? I got to look into that. But it's all those little things as far as like financial literacy and all that stuff. That's early on. That's one of the things I wish I would have like really dove into.
Yeah. And I love you speak on that, bro, because there's this weird thing in our industry. And it's not just our industry. It's, I think, the social media world. It's like you see people, the Marvy Marv just hit 200,000 on Instagram. He's got 400,000 on TikTok. Jeezy's got 3.5 million. These big numbers on social media, and people see that. And number one, they think you're the richest man on earth, right? They just think you're rich, right? And they think you just got it all figured out. Like you got all the answers to everything, right?
People, you asked me, you still cutting?
Yeah.
Why? Because I remember Jackie Star. She asked me the same thing. Man, you still in the barbershop? You still cutting? What is that?
Why
craziness?
So the reason I asked?
Yeah, what's the reason why you asked?
Because I didn't understand how I try to make these YouTube videos and stuff. So for me, like, okay, so let me put it this way. I'm full-time in the shop 2 days a week. So I do 2 long days, then I'm in and out the shop. My other days during the week are flexible for me to do other things that I need to do. So, when people are asking me, how do I do all this stuff and work full-time? I'm like, well, I don't work full-time. I'm in and out probably every day, but I'm in the shop 2 long days, which frees up time for me to do other stuff. So when I see you putting out multiple YouTube videos a week and your other content, for me, I'm like, okay, he probably has freed up some time to be able to do that. So when you told me that you're still working Tuesday through Saturday, now it's like, okay, that's some machine type work, because I just didn't. That's crazy to me. Like that's different. I think that's a different type of grind. Salutes to you, respect to you. But I think that could be. I think that could be where it comes from, right? Because there are people that see you doing this stuff and they're trying to do it. Like, think about the people that are trying to make YouTube videos that haven't been making them for 10 years. It's taking them forever to make a video. So when they're seeing you do multiple, and they're in the shop full time, 5 days a week, and they're trying to make content for Instagram and all that, and they're just like, maybe they're feeling or thinking the same way I was. That would be my guess as to where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, man. In the beginning, I always go, you get better with time, man. So in the beginning, I wasn't dropping twice a week. It was only one time a week, you know. So you just once you get faster at editing, you could produce more. So
yeah,
that's
and
basically
it could be dope. Maybe I mean, is that the type of content that you've shared like on Instagram? Almost like, guys, I still am in the shop Tuesday through Saturday.
I thought everybody knew this because I would vlog like in the shop all the time.
Yeah, I know, right? You would think
I'm in the shop all the time. Every time you see a video, hey y'all, I'm in the shop. I did the every haircut challenge, right? I did every haircut challenge.
Yeah,
I'm in the shop cutting hair every day. Every haircut challenge, like every day, I'm in the shop.
Jeezy said, "I'm just one of y'all. I'm a neighborhood barber." That's what Jeezy said.
For real, no, for real. Like I'm
the community barber.
To me, I don't see how people is doing it. Not being in the shop and just relying on social media. I don't understand it. Somebody put me on game. YouTube is paying. Don't get me wrong. YouTube is paying. But if you're on Instagram,
they ain't paying you nothing.
I don't know what, like, just because you got 5,000 followers on Instagram, that doesn't equate to money.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
YouTube,
I always used to tell barbers this. I used to always tell barbers this. I'm like, if you're doing $100,000, $130,000, $140,000 a year behind the chair, let's just say you're doing 10 to 12 grand a month. You're busy and you only charge $50 a cut. And you're doing, I don't know, 50 to 60 haircuts a week, 10, 12 haircuts a day, 5 days a week, right? Simple numbers, right? Basic math, right? I'm like, where else you gonna go and start printing that overnight? Like, what you gonna go do? That's easy as cutting hair. Because I mean, if you're a barber and you're doing it like that, it is kind of easy, right? It's not like we ain't bricklaying, we ain't building bridges or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like 120, 30, 140. Like, the top 10% of people make over 150. The rest is underneath 150. If you write at 144 or 130, 140, 150, cutting hair, just cutting hair alone, where are you going to get that? If 90%, if only top 10% of people do that. So I used to be like, if you do the basic math, like, don't fall for this facade where people think they lit living in their mama basement telling you to get from behind the chair.
Right.
I remember that was like a theme one time where it was like,
get
from behind the chair. And I used to always be against it. People was calling me a hater. They're like, he's a hater. I'm like, bro, I do those numbers and I'm not going to do what? So
get from behind the chair is kind of wild to me. To somebody to tell that to me,
and it was a thing, bro.
I love sitting here. What are you talking about? I want to be behind the chair. And that's the thing. This is what I love. Y'all have to understand that this is what I love to do. This is my dream job. I'm living my dreams. I made it from what I used to do.
I made it.
No, for real though. No, for real though. Okay, some people want to be doctors. Okay, salute to you for wanting to be a doctor. Some people want to be an architect. Okay, salute for you because it sounds good. But I wanted to be a barber.
Me too.
This is what I'm good at. I made it. I'm doing what I love to do. I ain't even really working like that. So when y'all thinking, you going to the shop? Yes, of course. This is what I love. This is what I love to do. When I get an opportunity to film somebody, that's the highlight of my day. I get to show the world. I'm about to go home right now and edit this video, show everybody just like I showed my mom the picture. Just to read in the comment section to say, oh man, some people said it was dope. Okay, that's what's up. I'm about to go back home. I'm about to go back to work and do it again. This brings me excitement. This is I am living the dream. I really am. Regardless if I was on YouTube or not. I'm cutting. I love it. I'm cutting hair and I'm making money just doing. I'm making money just fading hair. And I'm making. I don't want to put it out there.
Man. 360 making the community barber great again.
That's a fact.
he ain't never left. He ain't never left from what I understand. It's funny
because I posted not too long ago. I'm like, at the end of the day, like if you don't enjoy, like you're not getting excited to do this and you don't enjoy doing it, maybe barbering isn't for you. I feel like that isn't said enough either. You know, like people see the glamorous side of this and they see all this wild content, they see all this cool stuff we're doing as barbers, so they get into it. And then maybe it's just not for them. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not for you, don't come into this trying to just get a money grab and take from people and not really care about people and just want to charge ridiculous prices to look cool for content and then get out. Like, this, get out of our industry. I can speak for them, but I don't want you.
I tell them all the time.
Get out of here. We want community leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want people that care about people, that care about the customer, that ain't just looking at the customer like, all right, well, if they don't like my $37 price increase that I'm just going to surprise them with today, they can beat it and kick rocks. Like, nah, that's not why we doing this, bro.
And then they be killing me with the backhand compliments. Talking about, appreciate the support. If you can't afford it, I understand. Like, bro, you wouldn't say that to nobody's face because they probably smack you.
Yeah, facts.
Like, they go on social media and put that in the comments. Like, come on, bro. Like, especially elite people that can pay those prices, you ain't talking to them like that. You want to go on social media and look cool for other barbers. You sound goofy. They be killing me with that. They be killing me with that, man.
Yeah. This is cool, right? And it's like, guys, let me know in the chat if you are enjoying this conversation. And also let me know in the chat if you're enjoying this side of Jeezy and you maybe haven't seen this side of Jeezy. Because I feel like, what were we going to say? Go ahead, Will.
I'm about to say, I am. I don't know 360 Jeezy. Except for a couple YouTube videos. I know now, and I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm impressed, bro. I'm impressed. The things you've said, how you are, how you operate. I'm impressed, y'all. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that you wanted to do this, because this is, even though I couldn't contextualize it and put it into your words, this is what I've always felt from you. And this is why I've always, I've always looked at you as, one of the leaders in our industry, even if maybe you haven't felt that from me because I haven't communicated that, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But, all in all, it's like when you're trying to do a gem talk and I'm trying to do it the next day, it doesn't have nothing to do with your follower count, bro. Like, I'm way beyond that shit. I done met too many people now. I'm way beyond that. So for me, it's just like the feeling your energy, over the years of just, the few times we interacted, we're 38 now. You can feel that shit right away, bro. Yeah, you can feel it. And I just know that, like, I've always felt like your heart was pure and that you are good for our industry, and you're not one of these. We don't gotta go there, but you're not one of them. So I'm like, yo, I just want to do my best to show the people who have decided to, look to me for guidance. I want to do my best to introduce them. I know a lot of people know you, but there's people that don't introduce them to you. And the people that do know you, that may have not seen this side of you and know this about you, I just want to do my best to have this conversation to show them that. So I appreciate you being so honest and vulnerable and transparent. And you the man, bro.
And you align with what me and Marv were saying. It's like, being in the community, working 5 days a week, being a barber, making 6 figures, doing it the simple way. And then, like you said, finance. I think this is why a lot of barbers think they need to make so much money, because they don't know how to make their money work for them on the side while they are working hard, right? I'm at school now and I teach my students finance. I teach them about index funds. I'm like, yo, if you got a job, just get your index fund. Let's put one haircut a week in there. Like, I don't care what it is, right? And let's start to grow that, because all I'm trying to get them to do is see how it compounds. Once you see how it compounds, you'll take it up on your own. I don't have to tell you to increase it. You'll do it your own, but I have to prove the concept to you. And most people just don't do stuff because they just don't know. I always tell people, people who are ignorant do nothing. Confused people do nothing. And there's so many barbers that are confused about how to build a real business, because on social media, as great as it is, it's a lot of white noise. Can we agree? It's a lot of confusion. You don't know who to follow, what to do, what works, what don't work. And then everybody is out here just winging it. And what I want to do and what Marv wants to do, and why, he invited you on, was let's give people something that's real, that's in the community, that works, that's verified, that has a foundation that can be trusted and ultimately be built to success. And you've clearly shared that in your own unique way tonight on the live. So I appreciate you for taking the time, for one, and also being willing to articulate yourself and speak to your truth, man.
Right.
That's what he do.
Marv's my guy, man. I don't know if Marv know it or not, but ever since Marv didn't take my joke wrong, I always felt like Marv was cool.
Bro, I'm trying to pull up the video. I saved it, but it's not showing on my computer.
You trying to pull up the video?
It's not showing up, and I can't scroll that far back. I got 3,000 posts. I saved it. It's not popping up. But yeah,
Marv, listen. I was going back and forth in the car, like thinking to myself, man, I hope Marv doesn't take this personal. I hope he doesn't take it like I'm hating on him or something. This is just funny. You know what I mean? This is just funny to me. And when I did it, and you was like, man, that's dope, man. I appreciate it, man. Nah, don't worry about it. And you was in the DM with me, like really just telling me, like, chill, you good, we good. Like, I felt like, okay, Marv is cool, man. You know, he can take a joke. He can take a joke. From then on, Marv's been good.
It's right there, Jeezy. I have it right there. I'm trying to pull it up. It's hating on me. But basically, Will, it's a video. And this is from like 2017, 2018, something like that. It's a minute ago. But I was, I'm doing my barbers videos, and I was way louder than I am now. Barbers, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So Jeezy makes a video, and he's sitting in the car, and he goes, barbers, blah, 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 blah. Barbers, blah, blah. Bro, it's so funny, and I'm trying to pull it up, but it's hating. It's hit me with the please try again. So I have to show it another time. But, I'm a jokester. I'm a roaster. I can have fun. If I don't feel like there's ill intent behind it, I laugh at myself every day. Like I'm in the barbershop, we're roasting each other all the time. So, when you did it, I thought it was funny. People were doing it at that time. I was seeing it more and more. And then when you did it, I'm like, all right, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like it's really catching on. And it may have been a thing, not saying you looked at it this way, but it may have really been a thing that people just were truly trying to make fun of and they thought was the corniest stuff ever. But I didn't see it like that. How I seen it was, all right, we have some, I'm not saying you took it that way, but I'm saying maybe other people did. I'm not saying you, because you're an entertainer, you're funny. You're
I just know that's what you do. You was doing it a lot. Barbers, and then you were talk some gems. You would spit some gems. Barbers, spit some gems. Barbers.
Pull it up. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna show it. But for me, it's just like, along that time is when I really knew like I had something and just keep hammering it. So and again, like back when you did it too, it is funny hearing you explain how you thought back and forth. You're like, like, should I post it? Should I not? It's just cool knowing it worked out, because there wasn't one bit of me that was offended. And that's why I reposted it and let you know. And then we even did me and Jeezy did like a podcast episode way back then. I feel like that was like one of the first times you ever did something like that, though, wasn't it?
It was. That was the only time I've ever did something like that. Your podcast was the first one that I did.
Yeah, crazy. So crazy. And we here for like round 2 of the conversation 5, 6, 7 years later. But
crazy.
Jeezy been my dude ever since, I felt your energy. And then I met you. I think the first time I met you was in somewhere out in like San Francisco. We both did classes. It was like the Bay Area battle.
Oh yeah, it was San Francisco?
Yeah, I think it was San Francisco. Because I did a class, and I remember you did a class, and it was like one of your first
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
Yeah, way back. But just from that, I knew like, all right, this dude is at least I vibe with him. I rock with him. I don't know if he likes me or not. I like him. You know what I mean? And then you travel along, go through the industry, meet some other people, and it's kind of like, I'm sure you've experienced it. But it is what it is. But salute to you for always being a positive force in our industry, and I really don't think you truly understand your impact, and I don't think you ever will. I don't think a lot of us will, that are trying our best to give and pay it forward, but you've impacted the hell out of people, bro. And even in our industry, I don't feel like, Cake and his Randy put it earlier, he put YouTube barbers over IG barbers. I feel like YouTube barbers, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you guys are finally starting to get that credit y'all just didn't get for a while. Like IG barbers were getting all this love, and y'all are actually helping people in crazy ways. And
hey, there was a time when YouTube barbers was hated by the OGs. Man, they used to say the game is to be sold, not told.
That's a fact. They did say that.
That was the biggest like, dang, discredit. That was the biggest discredit to YouTubers. The game is to be sold, not told. I used to feel so bad when they say that. Like, I'm just doing my thing. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help. Right. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and make super money off of YouTube. I didn't even know you could make money off of YouTube when I first joined. But then they say you can monetize it. I looked at what monetize was. I was like, oh, you gonna pay me to do what I was gonna do for free? Oh, you ain't said nothing. So
you giving away all the secrets, Jeezy.
Yeah, and that mindset is very divisive. Unfortunately, it's very transactional. The game is to be sold, not to be told. That clearly is low level because it only thinks about self. So that's unfortunate. I didn't catch part of that wave, but it's like, yo, come on, man. It's like we at some point we got to sacrifice and offer versus just take and sale.
I even dealt with a little bit of that on Instagram, just doing my barber's rants. Like, it's just like, nah, you giving away too much. Or you talk about like something with the alcohol or a little tip with the clippers or something. Nah, you giving away too much. I'm like, wait, what? I don't feel like I'm giving away enough.
You know what that is too? That's got to be from people who wasted their career. It's why I try to talk to people now where it's just like, yo, man, while you're young, you got your life in front of you, but don't waste this. Because if you waste it, you're going to want when you're in your 40s what the 20-year-old got. And it's going to make you bitter. So do the work so you can give freely to the next generation and get the fulfillment that you ultimately desire, even if you don't know you want it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to fill up a cup so you can pour from it. So many people waste their 20s and 30s. They just waste it. And then when you get into your 40s, you got a cup that ain't got nothing in it. And you're not, you know what I mean? You're bitter. You're mad. You ain't got nothing else to drink. So it's unfortunate, man. But I tell people, man, take advantage of what you got today. Especially with the way social media and stuff is. Like, you have to, it's free right now for the most part, or it's relatively cheap. It may not always be like that. You better take advantage of the opportunity you have today, because it changes constantly.
Like even something like this, the fact that this is the one part that discourages me a little bit about something like this is the fact that it's on YouTube for free. So there's so many people that may miss the value in it because it's on YouTube for free. So I always be trying to tell people, when you're watching something like this, man, like,
this was a good one right here.
$10,000. Imagine you spent $10,000 for this, bro, and just try to soak it all in. And because right now, at the end of this, you got 3 people that genuinely care about people, genuinely care about making a positive impact. And for whatever reason, we just want to help the next person. We want to leave you in a better spot than we found you in, and we want to leave the world in a better spot than we found it in. So, take advantage. If you feel like this stuff resonates with you, take it and absorb it and apply it. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy, what would you tell somebody in barber school, knowing what you know now, seeing what the options are, what's available now, the resources we have now? If you were in barber school, knowing what you know, what would you focus on? What would you do?
I would.
Who are some of the people you'd follow, subscribe to, that type of stuff too?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get into that after I say this. So I'm telling you what I did. I would start now as far as social media, as far as building your portfolio, because you're gonna need that to when you get out here in the real world and you're actually, cutting hair for money. You're gonna need that portfolio that you built in barber school, even if it ain't your best work, even if it ain't, what I mean, it's at least something to get you to, advertise yourself when you get out there. I would focus on social media, But more importantly, if you're going to be in school and you're going to be in that area, I would start like really investing money into flyers. Like, don't sleep on person to person transaction. Don't sleep on leaving your card on somebody's window shield. Don't sleep on leaving your card in businesses. Don't sleep on building your community, because social media, that could be the whole world. You know what I mean? Unless you kind of bring it in and start hashtagging your city and putting barbers in the city that you're from, because a lot of people they'll research that too if they're new in town. So don't sleep on actually going out there, getting out there, because we did that too when we first started. I was out there, putting my card on the windows of grocery stores, put my card in businesses. That's how I was able to get them one a days. You know what I mean? I'm here because I saw the flyer on my window shield. Okay, that's what's up. Come on in. Like, so start now. Don't wait till you get out there in the real world to start making money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you cut. Post. You get better. If this whole thing has been, you get better with time. So don't be afraid.
All right, hold up. I know one of y'all probably got a thought you want to share, but hold up. Before we go any further, hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Nah, we can't hear it.
Oh, why is it not playing? Oh, hold up.
It will only
Can you hear it now?
Take a second and blah, blah. Research and blah. Effectively blah, blah. Consequently blah, blah. So make sure that when you blah, 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 barbers. Blah, 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 blah. And if you blah, 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 sweep up your station, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you blah, blah, blah. Don't be blah, blah, blah. Barbers. Blah, blah, blah. Make sure that when you blah, blah, it will only blah, blah. Take a second and blah, blah. Research and blah. Effectively blah, blah. Consequently blah, blah. So make sure that when you blah, 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 barbers.
Oh,
Barbers.
that was it,
Blah, blah, blah.
That's how he
blah,
did.
blah, blah. I forgot how
Yo.
it really went. Blah blah.
Yo.
That's what it was. Blah blah.
Yo,
What
that
was that, bro.
I think we need
How good was that?
I think we need a remake 7 years later.
Yo, Will, that was when I was in the car yelling at him.
Yelling,
He-
yo. Because he was in the car
car
too. He was in the car too.
Yeah, I
in
made
the
sure I
car
was
yelling
in
too.
the same setting. Yeah.
Nah,
Hey, the
was
fact that
cool.
Mar, the fact that you didn't get offended by that shows your character.
Yeah,
That's love.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Bro,
That's
it's-
why this is here today.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just, I don't know, man. I like the jokes. I like the roasting. You know what I mean? I'm cool with it. Obviously, if you go a little too far, it's all right, bro, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I'm down to have some fun. You know what I mean? So when he did that, I thought it was hilarious. I shared it to my page. The funny part was you did have the barbers that couldn't stand me. Some of them were like,
They was eating it alive.
yeah.
There's always gonna be that though.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait a minute, y'all. I didn't mean no harm by it. I'm not on your side at all. Like, let's be clear. I'm not on your side. He's actually kicking some game here.
Yeah.
Like, this
Yo,
is real
the
talk.
haters.
Speaking of that, though, I want to tap into that real quick too, because one of the things that has helped me along this content creation journey is just remembering who I'm making my content for. So you get the haters, you get the people that come in and say stuff, but at the end of the day, we're human. So there's that part of you that wants to like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, ugh. You get 100 good comments in that one, you're like, ugh, right? There's that human part. But then when you remember, like, okay, I'm not making my content for them. It's not for them. It's for these people who enjoy it, who are getting value from it.
Right.
Was that something that you had to learn along the way? Or early on, did the haters and your haircuts are whack, you pushed them back, all the enhancement, all of that. Did that really bother you?
So Marv, in the beginning, they root for you in the beginning.
That's a fact.
They cheer for you in the beginning, but once you start reading some type of success, that's when the haters come in, because they come in on success thinking that, oh, you know everything. You think you all that. No, you didn't see the journey. You missed out on all you missed out when I was on the bus. You missed out when I was, you know what I mean, struggling. So now that you see me on top, you're just trying to tear me down. So in the beginning, as far as when I started reaching a lot of followers, that used to get to me.
Mm-hmm.
That used to get to me. I used to be wanting to respond back.
Yeah.
But the God in me was like, nah, you can't respond with hatred. You know what I mean? It's a certain way I had to act. So had I got on YouTube before Christ,
It
might
have got filthy.
Everybody. I would have been going back and forth with
man.
everybody.
That's so good, man. That's so good.
So luckily, I got on YouTube and I already had Christ.
Lucky Jeezy was saved. Y'all are lucky.
Right.
Jeezy was saved. Oh man, he wasn't on demon time. You're lucky.
Y'all lucky he was reading his Bible.
Thanks.
Nah, but I might not have. I mean, I could say honestly, I wouldn't have been 360 Jeezy. There would be no 360 Jeezy. Just my story, it just wouldn't be no 360 Jeezy had I not accepted Christ into my life. I would have went a different route in life. So
purifies your intentions.
Yeah,
helps you see the bigger picture.
Right.
Beautiful, man. Love it, bro.
Right. So I mean, at this point, Marv, you know, I don't even look at it. I look about the first couple of hours, see all the positive vibes, and after that, I know it's gonna go crazy, and I know the haters are coming. So I don't even look at it now to throw off my mood.
I love when I heard Gary Vee break it down back in the day when he just was saying, like, imagine the type of pain you gotta be in yourself to want to spew hateful stuff at a stranger on the internet. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's helps me a lot too, is like, bro, hurt people try to hurt people. So if you're in my comment section or in my DM or on my live, whatever the case is, and you're trying to like say hurtful stuff, I have to have compassion for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to feel for you, because clearly you going through something. There's some of you trying to really hurt me. And you know, like I love when Kanye said it back in the day when he's just like, you know, the way you counter hate is with love. So, you know, I do my best to try to be that. Now, sometimes I fall into, I be a little tired. I text Will the one day. I was like, I was a little tired, so I got time now. You know, my
right.
Sometimes I got time, you know, for one or two back and forths, and then I catch myself like, what are you doing? You know, but you know,
hey, you know what used to happen to me though?
Huh?
Here's where I caught on to it. So I used to respond sometimes like you. Sometimes I got time today.
Yeah.
I used to respond, and they'd be like, "Oh, thank you, 360 Jeezy. I appreciate you responding back. Oh, I probably." And it's like, dang, wait a minute, you were just saying that negativity just to get a response out of me. Oh, that's what y'all doing. Okay. So that's
I learned
how
that with TikTok too, man. TikTok taught me that early on, because they get brutal over there, because there's all these little kids on their private pages. They get brutal. So they used to go crazy on me. And then I just learned after just replying back to them, agreeing with them. Like I'd say, you know, I'll never get a haircut from you. And I'd be like, me either, bro. I jacked him up. Ha, ha, ha. Love your videos, bro. Like, wait, what? What? You know, so I had to learn that over there too, you know. Sure. Will, you still awake over there? I know Will.
Yeah.
I think we've been on what, 2 hours? We've been on 2 hours. We've been on 2 hours. Chat, let us know what your thoughts were of this conversation. It's getting a little late on our end. You know, Jeezy over there on Pacific time or whatever it is. He's about 19.
It's 8:30 right here.
Yeah, it's all early over there. Midnight over here. Let us know in the chat if y'all vibe with the conversation. Take a screenshot, guys. Take a screenshot to save, to be able to post to your story. I am going to leave this up on my channel, so you guys can go back and rewatch it if you missed, you know, parts of it, or you want to watch it a few times. I always recommend that y'all throw it up on a TV. Definitely throw this up on a TV in a barbershop. I think this is a conversation, I think y'all can agree, is a conversation that barbers and aside from barbers, just people need to hear.
Yeah.
I felt good about this. How y'all feel about it?
Yeah, I think it was great, man. I can't find anything really wrong with it. You know, the message was loud and clear. Building that, you know, foundation on Christ, you know, structuring that family, building everything else on top of that, but making the priorities the priorities. And when you do things like that, everything else comes to you, you know, in the form of your genius idea. You put a little work with it, you know, mix a little faith with a little work, sprinkle in a little diligence, and there you have it. Right. And all because nobody's exempt from problems. We all are going to have problems. Things are going to come up that we cannot predict. Challenges each one of us are going to face will be slightly different. You know, nobody has all the answers, but it's the core stuff that allows us to overcome, you know, and I think all of our core foundational stuff is very similar, if not the same. And I think that is what people need to focus on, that building that core. You know, if you look at a human body, if the core is in shape, everything else is usually pretty good too. Right. So I think we gotta start there and start building people's cores so they can grow up to be quality leaders and be willing to serve others, even without the thought of getting something in return. So I appreciate both of you guys. I talk to Marv about this a lot. The stuff that he does that he doesn't get paid for is why I respect him so much, because he adds tons of value to people without even having to get paid. And Jeezy, listening to you tonight, it's one of the things that stuck out to me is the first thing you said is I just wanted to help people. I started just trying to teach people how to cut their own hair. And then it took off from there. And I always tell people giving starts the receiving process. And the more we learn to give and become a habitual giver, the more things we start to receive, even if it's not even monetary. Sometimes it's just a genius idea. But God allows all of that to happen. And I'm so glad that you spoke to that earlier on the live. So those are just some of my recaps from just, you know, trying to be a quality listener on the live. People always ask me to talk a lot, but sometimes I like to just listen, because nothing I say today will help me learn anything.
Than they give you credit for, Will.
I believe so.
Sometimes you don't know how to shut the hell up, but you a good listener when you want to listen.
True story. I mean, hey man, that's how you learn. That's how you learn, man. So you know, if I could talk all day, but that don't teach me anything. But if I listen, it gives me the ability to learn. And I would, you know, encourage every young person in the game to just be a little bit more open-minded and listen. Because if you listen, you'll find a lesson. But a lot of us aren't listening good enough. So we get stuck on, I don't know. I don't want to say stupid. It's a bad choice of words, but we get stuck somewhere.
Stuck
you know what I mean?
I'll say it.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'll handle that for you. Get stuck on stupid, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man. But great live, man. Great message.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate you guys having me on, man. This really gives me the ability to just share my story and for people to see that it's not Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's this is hard work. This is I'm still in the shop, you know? Like some stuff that you didn't know, Marv, like, man, you still in the shop? Like, yeah, I'm still in there.
I definitely think he was in the shop 5 days a week for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't think that.
I'm working, I'm grinding. Like that's what it takes, you know. Being a disciplined barber, being on time, you know, having structure, all of that, man. That's a different side of me that a lot of people don't know. They see the glitz and glam, but the glitz and glam is just the result of the hard work behind it.
Yeah. And that is something that is a highlight, Jeezy, because that's very impressive. Because for you to be such a creative the way you are, a lot of creatives naturally drift and wander because it's how they find and how they cultivate their creative genius. But one of the struggles of a lot of creative people is the time management. We see it with entertainers all the time. Shows start late, this and that. Like it's just tons of creatives. They drift into their genius and they, you know what I mean, time becomes a challenge for them. But their art and their creative ability is so renowned that it's like that's one of the sacrifices. So for you to be as creative as you are and to value that time and discipline like that, you know what I mean? That's a real superpower, bro.
Yeah.
So, Barbers, I just want to say thank you, Will, for taking time on your birthday. Happy 38th birthday again.
Thank you, man.
Will, you had all
birthday.
types of reasons why you ain't had to do this, and you did it. So
I'm like, hey, man, I made a commitment tomorrow. I'm like Jeezy, right? I'm like Jeezy. He said, look, that discipline, right? I made a commitment to do all the gym talks with Marv on this season. So I got to honor that, birthday or not. It's just
Will hit me up. So what's the game plan? What we talking about? I said, okay, you win. Let's get it. And so, I put him on. I said, yo, Jeezy the man. Jeezy's good people. And,
yeah, for sure.
We can put Jeezy in a position to share his story in a way that some people, may not have heard it. And then just, do our best to give value in a way where we're trying to create better leaders, become better leaders ourselves, and create, better leaders. Cause I do think we need leadership, in our industry. Will has hammered that in my head, and I agree with him 1,000,000%. Like there is lack of just leadership. We're so much of this influencer culture, and I think we need more leadership. So if I'm going to be put in the influencer box, Jeezy's gonna be put in the influencer box. Will, you might be getting dumped in that box with us too. We gonna change the box. We cross an influencer out on the front leaders.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have to kick the box over and let something fall out, and then pick it back up. And put some new toys in it. Put some new toys.
Marv, why you over here playing? That's a shirt.
Yo, facts. That's why I said cross it out, right? Barber. Yo,
me and Marv talked about that the other day. I was like, yo, make the shirt, bro. He was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we on the same frequency, man. That's why I be trying to tell you that conversation. We on the same type of time. But Jeezy, I truly appreciate you too, man, taking the time out your day, especially on such short notice. You like, yo, let's get it. You was down. We made it happen. And I think you did an amazing job. And I think everybody watching this will agree, and they'll let us know in the chat about how much value that you delivered. I know you care about people. I know you care about making an impact. And I know you're your biggest critic, and you just want to do the best you can. And I would definitely say that you delivered. And the people are grateful for it. But you definitely delivered.
And Jeezy got the best black t-shirt on tonight.
Yeah, his joint is.
He got the best black
t-shirt on tonight. It might be the lens. I don't know. Maybe his lens is because I feel like mine's a good one.
I'm saying that because of what's on the back of it.
Oh, that's a fact.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
Fact.
This needs to be shown.
That's why he got the best one, because of what's on the back.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yo, we did do the black shirt gang. We is out here.
Hey, I didn't even notice.
38
the whole time.
The 38 special.
That's
the 38 special, man.
Hey, man, you just put a bunch of like-minded individuals on the same YouTube, I guess. This ain't the same room, but you put them on the same screen.
It says you never know what's going to happen on the screen. Yo, we got the webcam black. We got the candy with contrast black, and we got Jeezy filmmaking YouTube experience, 11 years in, hard work, a lot of money invested black. That's what he got on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate y'all, man. So listen, guys, again, just make sure you follow Jeezy, 360 Jeezy. Make sure you follow Will Stam. Subscribe to the channel, all of that fun stuff. Hit the like button if you got value. And again, you'll be able to rewatch this. Jeezy and Will, I want y'all to hang out for like 2 minutes once I end the stream. Everybody else, enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know when you're going to be watching this. And we thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with us.
Hold on, Marv, real quick. Will Stan on Instagram?
What's up?
Yeah.
Will Stan on Instagram?
Yeah. Yep.
Stan,
and on all social medias.
2 N's? Oh, 2 M's.
2 M's.
M's. Okay.
Yo, remind me of that movie. Remember Step Brothers when he's like, "Are you saying Pam or Pan?"
Right.
Step Brothers. Are you saying Stan or Stam?
Hey, they get that name. They get that name wrong every time. They spell it Stan. Stan. That's what they say all the time.
Yeah, they called us the Men in Black, by the way. Oh,
Men in Black.
Men in Black. So the giveaway, we didn't have a ton of people enter, which is pretty dope. The way I'm going to do the giveaway, guys, just be on the lookout for your email. We're going to do it a little different tonight. I'm going to hit y'all up through email. and I'll keep you posted that way rather than do it on the live. The giveaway was all messed up today with the Instagram algorithm and all of that, but I will pick one of y'all and we will figure it out through email. So be on the lookout from an email from me, and one of y'all gonna get some stuff. So Barbers, we appreciate y'all. Until next time, keep chasing greatness, and we will tap in with you soon. Jeezy will hang out for a minute.